Quest Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of A Body Out at Sea by P.F. Ford, narrated by Andy Cresswell.
Chapter 1. Monday, the 4th of November, 2019, 0700. The jogger padded quietly through the small seaside town of Llangwelly and turned onto the coast road, which ran past the picturesque harbour. He had chosen the hooded tracksuit to make himself less recognisable, but now, as he felt the chill breeze off the sea, he was grateful for the warmth afforded by the unfamiliar outfit. As he passed the harbour, he slowed and gazed across at the familiar sight. It was deserted at this time of the morning, just as he had known it would be. He gazed longingly at the handful of pleasure cruisers, medium-sized yachts and powerboats. This was one of his favourite places, and his boat had once been his greatest pleasure. For a moment his resolve weakened, and he wished he could carry on as if nothing had happened, but he knew that was no longer possible. The die was cast now, and there could be no turning back. He knew the sun would be up in another 15 minutes, so he reluctantly turned his eyes back to the road ahead and continued jogging along with just the beach stretching between him and the widening estuary off to his right. 200 yards beyond the harbour was another car park on the left. At this point, the man crossed the road, followed the path that led through the barrier on the other side, and onto the beach. As he headed across the beach in the early morning light, off to his right, back by the harbour, he could just make out the tiny figure of a man and a dog heading his way. Yet again he had second thoughts, but his doubts quickly subsided, and he smiled to himself. Wasn't this exactly why he was wearing the unfamiliar hooded outfit? Yes, he might be seen, but at this distance he was just a tiny speck, and could be anyone. He carried on jogging across the sand until he was about 30 feet from the sea, where the beach sloped sharply down to the water. The tide had already turned, so he knew his clothes would stay dry and safe from being washed away if he left them here. He stopped, carefully removed his running shoes and tracksuit, slipped off his t-shirt, and placed the roll towel on top of both. He had chosen the whitest towel he could find to ensure it would be easily visible. Satisfied everything was in order, he took one last look around, and then walked deliberately.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?